Hello. I am here with my second dream journal audio entry. I want to talk about a dream that I had one time where in the dream, my mom came to me in the dream. My mom's still alive, so I don't want you to think that my mom is deceased or anything. But she came to me in the dream, and when we were in the dream, she's like, I went to go see a reader. And I'm like, okay, Mom, well, what happened with the reader? So then in the dream, she started to talk about what happened when she got the read. So I'm like, okay, Mom, well, you know what? I think I want to meet this lady. Can you have this lady do a read for me? So in a dream, I meet up with the lady and I'm like, okay, hello, hi, nice to meet you, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, I said yada, yada, yada. And she's like, how may I help you? So I'm like, my mom expressed to me that you did a read for her, and, I'm interested in getting a read from you. And so she goes, okay, let me shuffle my deck and let me pull some cards for you. So in a dream, this lady, she shuffled this deck, and then one card falls out. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, one card. Okay, cool. I don't know. Like, that's it. So the lady's like, okay, here's the card that I was drawn to pull for you. Well, the card chose you. And she's like, take a look at the card. So in the dream, I pick up this card, and it's a mirror. And so immediately in the dream, I start being extra dramatic. And I'm screaming, and I'm like, oh, it's me. Why is it showing me? What does this mean? Oh, life is over. Oh, and I'm just being really, really extra. And the lady's like in a stern voice, stop it. So I'm like, okay. And she said, look at it. So then I look at this card, and I'm like, yeah, I only see me. And she said, look deeper. So in this dream, I start to look deeper in this card, which is showing me myself. And as I'm looking at the card and it's showing me myself, something else started to happen. It was like I started to look into my eyes as I'm looking at this card, which was a mirror card. And as I'm looking at myself in this mirror card, I start to see myself duplicating. So now I'm like, okay, it's duplicating. I'm duplicating. I'm doomed. Why am I splitting into so many people? And I don't know if you guys see. I guess I'm going to explain this. Some people may have seen the movie Gremlins. I mean, it wasn't quite the gremlin horror of the dream, but just to give you a little basis of what I'm talking about. So in the movie Gremlins, they have Cosmo, and when water hits Cosmo, he starts to populate, and then little gremlins start to come from Cosmo. So in my dream, that's the best way I can explain what looked or appeared to be happening to me while I'm looking at this card. So in this card, I start to look, because as she's like, look deeper. So now I'm looking deeper into the card, and as I stated, I'm seeing myself, and I'm multiplying, and I'm becoming so many of myself. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what this means. And so as I'm looking at the dream, I see myself faint because of how many duplicates I have now come to create of myself. So for a long time, I was very confused by this dream. Like, what does this dream mean? And also in the dream, another thing that had happened was I saw some of my loved ones run to my rescue, which was my original self, the one that I was formulating all of these duplicates of myself. And they started to hold my hands, and in the dream they were praying for me. And in the dream I was just so distraught, and I was just so without life. So I felt dead. I felt depleted. I felt empty, and I didn't understand for a short period of time, well, really for a long time, what that dream was trying to convey to me. And then, so I did some research and I was looking, I'm like, okay, well, what do this and that mean? And what does that and this mean about the dream? So to give a little more about the dream of some other things that had happened before I woke up. In a dream, my family members and my friends, they started to pray for me in a dream. And as they were praying for me in a dream, my body started jolting like an electric surge of myself. And then when I noticed myself, I was rising. And then I was rising. And then we all had a tight grip of hands with one another when we were all standing close knit and in close proximity to one another. They were holding my hands and my body just raised from what I would call a death state to a more alive state. And then the duplicates that I had created of myself, well, they were still there. However, what I didn't realize was that my dream was trying to tell me that I had split myself so much trying to help other people that I had neglected me. And then I was called to a period in my life where I wanted to be this big help to people. Just help people all the time. Like, okay, I can do it. I got it. I'm a help. And I had overextended myself. So to me, that was my body and telling me, you have come to a state of decrease. You have no more that you can offer. So at this time, you have to get connected with people who care and love you, that you have been able to help. It let me see in that dream which people set themselves aside to come to my rescue when they had seen that I had become faint. And it just gave me a different perspective on the people I surround myself with. Because there are a lot of people that we surround ourselves with and that we help. And some of those people are more takers than they are givers. So I had to think back and first check myself. Like, listen, when you don't have it to give, you have to unplug. But in order to unplug, you have to see yourself. And for a while, I was not seeing myself until I had that dream. And in that dream, like I said, my mom, she said she went to see someone that did a read on her. And then I only got one card. And I'm like, hold on. But that one card had so much meaning within it, within my dream, which was, look at yourself. See yourself. See the help you give. And there's nothing wrong with giving help. But there's also nothing wrong with knowing when you are depleted. And there's nothing wrong with knowing that you can't do it all by yourself. I was not able to lift myself. So let me backtrack, because I just had another moment where I remember something in a dream. I was trying so hard to yell out, to make them aware that I needed help. And it was like, I was just like laying there without it was like I was conscious, but I was not conscious, not fully conscious. But then I saw them notice me and they're like, oh, snap, she needs us. So then they recognized where I've helped them, and then they came and helped me. So I said that dream to say this. See yourself. See what areas you need to see that are depleted in your life, so that you don't go unconscious to your own needs. You can help people, but you also must help yourself stay in a space that keeps you charged. And then if you feel that you cannot charge yourself, then you ask the people around you. And if you have the right set of people around you, they will know when you have given as much as you can give. And now it's time for them to give something to you.